What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? I'm looking. I have things right here. What is up, y'all? How are you guys doing? It's awesome to see all of you guys. Let us get into story time. There's a lot to talk about, and a lot went on. So, and my leg, thankfully, isn't as swollen as it was. Nowhere near, nowhere close. The skin on my leg, I'm not going to show it to you. It feels like I'm a burn victim. Like, it really has that consistency. I'm hoping it's going to get better over time. You know, like how somebody gets a really bad like burn and that scar tissue, like it feels like that. So on Friday on our subathon, I woke up feeling relatively fine. Like there was no issues or anything of such. It wasn't until about 10 o'clock, about an hour into our stream, I started feeling like achy. I was like, oh, well, I put in a good good workout the day beforehand. So maybe this is just, you know, I'm just feeling achy because I did a good job and did a good workout. About 12 o'clock, 3 hours into the stream, I started getting like really lightheaded, dizzy when I'd stand up. And I was like, oh no, like a lot of this feels like COVID. So off stream, when I would take a break, I was actually trying to do a COVID test at home to see if that's what it was. For me personally, as sick I was feeling, I know we were jamming, we were hitting goals on the subathon. So I was like, you know what, maybe this will pass. Maybe this is as worse as it's going to get. I mean, we had so many plans that day and everything else. I was like, okay, let's see if we can, you know, stick through this. About 3 o'clock, so 6 hours into the stream or so, I started getting like hotness behind the eyes and everything else. And that's, I mean, I let Wade know. I was like, look, dude, I'm starting to not feel so good. I may have to end the stream into it. So that's why it's like I could only do like one, I think what we did, one round with the guys in Battlefield. Like that's all I could do and whatnot. So yeah, it by the time I ended the stream, I had like a fever. I was achy, very achy, like it hurt right down to my bones. And everything just hurt. I couldn't walk a straight line. At first, like I said, I thought this was like really bad COVID. And so when I ended the stream, I was just like, okay, like we got to go to the hospital. We got to go to the hospital. Thinking maybe it's just a bad case of COVID. But also I had heart palpitations. Like my heart was beating a lot faster than it normally would, which I felt was odd. So we got to urgent care. We didn't go to the ER. We went to urgent care thinking that they were just going to go like, you know, you're fine. It's just bad COVID. You know, here's whatever shots we need to give you or that kind of thing. So by the time we got to the hospital, I could barely walk. Like I'm having to like take a step and you know, stabilize myself, take a step, stabilize myself. Like it's that bad. So much so that the front receptionist, and there's a lot of firsts for me here. I've been to the hospital a bunch of times, never had to get wheeled around in a wheelchair. The front receptionist, seeing how I was walking, was just like, you want to get in a wheelchair and I'll push you? And I was just like, you know what, go ahead. Because of my heart palpitations, they kind of put me at the front of the line, thankfully. And the nurses see me, take all my vitals and whatnot. Apparently my resting heart rate is somewhere around 120, 130 at that time. So not very restful. And so they're like, we want you to go to ER. Now the ER is actually is at a different hospital. It's not the same hospital. And they're like, we want to send you on an ambulance ride. And I was like, we're not spending $5,000-$10,000, whatever, for an ambulance. You know, Johanna can take me. So they make me sign a waiver, you know, recognizing it's not their fault if something happens, you know, in transit. Wifey, carefully, but quickly, drives me to the ER. And I get into the ER. They have a wheelchair waiting for me out there. So I get, once again, I mean, I've never been pushed around in a wheelchair ever in my life, so this is a first. The front receptionist just sees me kind of breathing heavy from my heart, you know, and was like, who are you? We need to see you real quick. And I give him my name, and he's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we were expecting you. So they hooked me back up, checking, you know, checking heart rate and everything else. And they do a COVID test. I'm still in the ER waiting room. They do a COVID test and it comes back negative. Now, what I was told by the doctor there is that if it's not COVID, potentially it could be meningitis. Now, how do you test for meningitis? You test it with a lumbar puncture, a spinal tap. Now, if you don't know what a lumbar puncture is, it is one of the most painful things you can go through. Because let me explain this to you guys. They numb the skin, just the skin, not the tissue underneath, none of that. Why? Because the most basic way of them doing this that doesn't involve an x-ray machine or what have you is you like bent over into a fetal position, sitting up on the bed, trying to push your butt outwards, as it were, because they need to get to the base of your spine. You need to remain as still as possible. You cannot move through the entire procedure, and the entire procedure is taking over a little over 5 minutes long. Because as they're going in with the needle, you need to tell them where the pain is. So they only figure out where they are, if they're close to the point or not, through you being in pain. So they would go too much to the left, like, how does that feel? I feel the pain on my left. How does this feel? I feel the pain on my right. And I hate needles, dude. And it's not a small little itty bitty needle. This is a gauge. This has a gauge to it. They went so far to the left on one, it sent pain shocks down my left leg where I could not keep my leg straight. She's like, stay still. I'm like, I know, I'm trying. This is just inadvertently like happening. I have no control over my leg right now. Whatever you're hitting, you're making it move. So I'm in this kind of like prayer position. Wifey is holding my hands and she's like, honey, just squeeze my fingers as hard as you need to. I'm not doing that because I do not want to break my wife's fingers. I like her fingers the way they are. The nurse is like rubbing my shoulder because it's that training, doing a different kind of sensation. So my brain has also something else to focus on. So I really appreciated the nursing staff there was amazing. Thankfully, because here's the deal, they can also not make it. They can like try over and over and not hit it and then stop, give you a breather and retry again. I'm like, please. So like I'm praying the entire time. Wifey's praying the entire time. And the last try, the doctor got it. Now here's the thing, when the doctor gets to the right spot, your pain is not over yet. Now you have to sit there for 5 minutes as they extract this clear liquid out of the base of your spine. So I'm just sitting there in pain. Like it hurts so much. I'm sweating from the pain. Now, mind you, this is still on top of my bone aches and my dizziness and everything else. So I'm like going through all this while still feeling like shit. So it's just like pile on, just go ahead and pile on all the things. It was, dude, it was god awful. It was, once again, like, and apparently like any number of mishaps could happen if they miss, if something screws up, if I move while the needle is inside of me. Like there's so many things that can go wrong with this. So like I had to sign a waiver like before they were allowed to do that. Thankfully they did that. Came back though, not meningitis. Not meningitis. So it's just like, oh dear God, I went through all of that, and it's not meningitis. They were still like wondering up in the air, like, could it be this? Could it be that? Could it be this? Could it be that? Like they were, so they kind of were like, okay, listen, you have to be admitted to the hospital. And I was like, I'm sorry, what now? Once again, I've never stayed in a hospital overnight. I've been in the hospital before for, you know, various things, but never like actually staying in a hospital. So this was a first for me in this regard. So by like 1:30 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning, I finally get my own hospital bed. By the way, while this is happening, the Boons are being amazing. They're watching Little Mooncake. They came over and grabbed Mooncake out of our house. Johanna like, listen, if you could just grab Mooncake, that'd be great. So they grabbed Mooncake. So they were watching Mooncake while Johanna was with me. Real quick, also just sidebar. Why do hospital beds suck so much? When you're sick in a hospital, you have one job. That is to get better. You have one job. You know what makes people get better quicker and easier and faster? A good bed. Why are the beds so sucky? Why? I went from a gurney to an actual hospital bed, and the hospital bed wasn't really that much better, dude. I had to ask them for like so many pillows to like put here, put there, try to make more comfy and whatnot. Hospital beds suck. They give me a hospital bed and give me some pain meds and some various other things. Like I was taking so much different medications. They were going to put me on now, oh my God. This is one of many. So every vein in my inner elbows, the back of my hands, everything else was getting tapped. They, you hear tap that? They were like, you bet, I'm going to tap that. So, like, they have to continue to try to get IV locations and everything else. This one, it's so bruised because one of my veins collapsed from just the sheer amount of use. Back of my hand, when I do this, still hurts because they had put a IV right against one of the bones here, and it started to hurt like all hell, dude. Like I'd finally get to sleep, and then at 5:30 in the morning, every morning I was there at 5:30. So Saturday morning, just freaking vampires come in to your room needing blood samples and waking your ass up at 5:30 in the damn morning. I was just like, how am I supposed to get some sleep? Like after, you coming in here and putting holes in me. And then dude, my doctor, oh my God, my doctor. I was calling her the happiest drill sergeant I have ever met, because she would come in at like 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the morning. I finally just drifted off to sleep again after the bloodletting. she'd turn on every single light, even though I'm sensitive to light. I'm so sensitive to light. The light coming out of from the hallway with the shades pulled and everything else was still too much light for my eyes to handle. Like, light and me were not friends. So she comes in, flicks on every single light. Good morning! Like, high-pitched, overly enthusiastic, just, oh my God, dude. I have never wanted to reach out of my bed and slap someone so much in my life. Like, what are you doing? Remember, it's do no harm. I was there from Friday night to Tuesday afternoon. So about 5 days or so, 4.5, whatever. We got a system down. Johanna would come see me in the afternoon time. Typically Boone, or another friends would actually watch Mooncake, and she would come over, and like they had a TV in the room and like free movies to watch and whatnot. So like we would watch some free movies. She'd actually bring food. I didn't really have that much of an appetite. Oh, by the way, holy shit, hospital food. The cliche is real, y'all. Hospital food sucks. Okay. I was just like, I knew the cliche. I heard it all the time. Hospital food sucks, blah, blah, blah. So I looked at their menu and I saw they did a chicken cheese quesadilla. I was like, you can't, there's no way. The chicken may be dry, sure, but it's got cheese in a tortilla. You can't screw this up. Chat, they screwed it up. The pieces of chicken were the driest damn things under the sun. The cheese was gluey. Like, it wasn't melty type of cheese. It was not good. And the tortilla, they somehow, I don't know if they took the tortilla and then had, you know, a taxi driver named Robert sit on it for like 24 hours to dehydrate it as much as possible before making a chicken cheese quesadilla with it. But boy, howdy, did they find a way to make it the driest quesadilla I have ever had in my damn life. I'd take a bite, I had to reach for a glass of water. Take a bite, glass of water. So I ate purely whatever I needed to like sustain the machine, as it were. And then I left the rest alone. I was like, I mainly just had Jell-O. Jell-O was my mainstay while there, because that's all I could really stomach anyway. But wifey, when I started getting like an appetite back, wifey at lunchtime would bring food. Glorious, delicious, normalized food. So yeah, Jell-O was my friend. I like Jell-O. It was so bad, dude. So as they're going through this, they don't know what is, they end up resting on cellulitis. Now, from what I understand of cellulitis, it's something any one of us, everyone watching, any one of us could get. It's by just because you know this, we all have like bacteria on our skin and various things and whatnot, and typically our immune system does a great job at taking care of these things. Apparently, one scratch, just one little scratch, is all it could take for the right conditions for your body to not be able to handle it and to go into this. And so they were saying I was also very lucky I didn't go into sepsis. My temperature was hitting around 102. My temperature was around 102. And because this all went down very quickly, dude. Like, I started feeling bad at 10 a.m. and by like 3 p.m. was absolutely gone. So, and it's like one of those kind of things, like, if this was 50 years ago, I probably could have died. Like, it was that bad. By Monday, they wanted to switch me from liquid IV to pill form antibiotics, and just to see how my body would handle it. My leg, by the way, doubled in size, if not tripled. It was it was very, it expanded a lot. It was insane. And it was bad. It was bad. Like I couldn't even tell I had an ankle. My foot had foot and leg had swollen up so much. Now my right leg is still a little bit swollen. I'm using some aloe vera on it, which seems to be helping the skin a bit. Supposedly, and the sexiness doesn't stop there. Supposedly, all my skin on my right leg is supposed to like slough off, like when you get a bad sunburn and then the skin peels. That's supposed to happen. Yay. All I could walk, because here's the thing. Laying down was fine. The second I had to stand up, all the gravity hitting my swollen leg was one of the most painful, like 10, 15 seconds of my life, because all the blood start rushing, you know, like through the leg and whatnot, just standing on it to like go to the restroom. And thank God I could do that on my own. I didn't want to check that box. They're like, do you need help? I'm like, dear God, no. Stay away from me. I'm at least doing this on my own. But the nursing staff was great. Wifey, because wifey being wifey, she made an entire chocolate banana loaf and brought it to the hospital. And I'm like, babe, I do not have any kind of appetite right now for like sweets or anything like that. And then I turned to look at my nurse, who she was there helping out with something. I was like, would the nursing staff love it? And she's like, listen, honey, there are certain things you need to learn about the nursing staff. And one of them is we all have an insatiable sweet tooth. So the answer to that question is yes. 15, 20 minutes, all there was crumbs left. There's just crumbs left. So when it was time to come home, my leg was still like doubled in size. The reason I'm being sent home is that I'm showing a gradual incline to the antibiotics that they're giving to me. And so they're like, you know, they gave me the pills, they gave me exactly what I needed. To leave, once again, I was put on a wheelchair and rolled out of there and whatnot. And so we get home, and once again, just walking sucks, dude. Walking sucks so much. It's just all painful. I just got to say thank you guys for your understanding with me taking the week off. I have to admit, I was a little stressed out about it because, once again, with the job that I do, you know, if you're not live, you're not able to pay bills. But it was one of those kind of things that I needed the time off to allow my leg to heal. It's still somewhat swollen, but like nothing compared to what it was. Yeah, it was an absolute freaking roller coaster. So much pain that I've never experienced in my life. And dear God, I hope to never again. I do have plans for us to do a extra stream at some point in time, like on a Saturday, to try to make up with what we missed during the subathon. Mooncake was very excited to see me. Apparently, while I was gone, like they'd be looking for her. They're like, "Where's Mooncake?" She came upstairs to lie underneath my desk. She never does that, but she was missing me so much. She came upstairs into my stream room and would lie underneath my desk because she was missing me so much. I got a picture of that and I was just like, oh my God, my heart. Absolute sweetheart of a dog. She was so adorable. Anyway, there's the story. That's all that happened. Anybody have any questions? Huge surprise. My YouTube audience. What the my streams, like when I have Wade and or Bob on the stream, we can get about 1,000 to 3,000 views on a past broadcast. I put out a video on YouTube, on the YouTube channel, while I was still in the hospital. It was very dark. It was a dark video because the light was bothering my eyes. It got over 6,000 views. I was just lying in bed and I looked at it. I was like, you serious? So do I just need to get sick? I didn't even monetize it because like that'd be so dumb. Monetize me feeling sick. So I didn't even monetize the video. But I was like, is this what I need to do? Is this what I need to do on the YouTube side to get them views? I just need to pump out I'm sick content.